the Sacred Rose Temple, and I am your host, Colette Corcoran. The Maga has been a really profound journey for me with the women that I have been giving transmissions to on the teachings of her. It's led us through a deep connection with her. There was exercises and a practice to connect to this archetype within the self and a way of keeping in communication with this part of ourself that holds a deeper wisdom and love. The Maga portal is not just a portal of perimenopause or to be thinking about, well, what does the menopause or the perimenopausal stage hold for me, and how can I navigate that through a different way of thinking and belief system that isn't the one that's currently held within the collective conscious at the moment, that collective kind of misunderstanding that it's a time of struggle when a woman loses her vitality and that she dries up and that she suffers from pain. I think the focus has been on that in our world, and maybe that's why so many women suffer through this stage, because that is the collective idea about it. And so this came through a deep vision of mine that there was a new way, a different way. There was a way within a field, like there always has been. I've been teaching about the menstrual cycle and the power of that and the power of the womb for the last 15 years. And that has been to try to counterbalance the original opinions of the bleed being a curse and being something bad, when we know ancient wise and in a matriarchal society that in fact it was the reverse. So the same's happening for this period, and I really want to trailblaze this and forefront it as a really potent time of initiation. It's a time when a woman really begins to look at her life and the life that she's led and see that the lessons that she's been given and the sufferings that she's gone through have all set her up for this second part of life. Now, there are many women that face this second part of life very differently. There are the Maga women that hold the archetype that look at the second part of life as a new life, as a new way. They're beginning to say, okay, so this is the second part of life now. How do I want to live this? What am I going to get my teeth into, and who am I going to be? And then there's the other woman who sees this as the time of the decline of life. She's retired, that's it, she's done, and she just waits for death. She's waiting to become aged and just kind of mooch through life till the end. I think it's time that we as women realise that this second heart of life is really a big gift. It's a gift that was never bestowed on women of the past because life expectancy didn't last that long. But now we not only have the gift of having extra years of life, we have the gift of a new kind of consciousness that makes us realise that there is deep wisdom in an aging woman, that the aging is a natural and needed process, that youth, as it fades away from our bones and from our cells, is a needed fade away. It's something that has to be transformed. It's something that is needed for society, that we step into an older mind, an older body, and an older framework for living. I think there's much that the Maga can teach the world if a woman deeply knows her and knows that all the signs and the steps and the initiations are here to empower her in her second half of the life and change the face of the world as we know it. So I'm really inviting everybody that hasn't yet done the transmissions to join me in those transmissions. They are available to be downloaded, and the whole videos and discussions are there. And also, I invite you to a deeper container that I open in November, which is a body of work that takes us very deeply into working with this archetype to see what wants to birth through us into the world through the wisdom of the Maga. So if you're a woman who is, this can be from any age, from mid-30s all the way to 70s, who feel there needs to be a reclamation of the Maga as they went through crondom without acknowledging her, or young women who are like, I want to be informed about this next stage of life as I enter into my mid-30s and forward as to what this really is about, and to dispose of the old thinking towards this phase of life. I really feel a deep commitment to the change of frequency and energy on our planet and our society, and know that the ancient ways are coming through in a new way. The ancient ways the connected ways have never really left us at all. They've demanded an evolution, and I believe that's the cycle that they've gone through. I know that evolution takes suffering, and I know that evolution takes a whole uncomfortable process. And I believe that's what we're going through now. I, for one, will not miss out on this period of time in history to sit back and watch it happen. I would rather be at the forefront of change and the evolution of our consciousness and say, what is this time asking of me? So I hope that many of us feel the same and are able to join me in the Maga. I'm sending you much love, power, and wisdom from the ancient woman to you. Blessings to you all.